welcome back to Lex Read. So in today's video, we are going to be doing my November wrap up. This month was really good. I was in a world of thrillers, and I particularly had one author that I focused on this month because y'all know I get on kicks. If I read one book that I love and I find out they have other books, I will start reading those and buying those. Also this month, I got into a little kick of an actress, which I'll talk about later. So I was on kicks this month, which I always am. But I read 5 books. Another thing this month is I think I only read one book physical. Everything else was on my Kindle or my Kobo. So before we get started, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You guys, last month, I remember was telling me about a new book that came out. But the book that I started off that got me on this kick of Tiffany D Jackson was The Scammer. Now I also had this on my Kobo, but I wanted a physical copy because I will be reading this again. And one thing I love about Tiffany D Jackson books is her stories are like inspired by real cases, real life cases. Real life story. You had a young man, a dad actually, he moved into his daughter's dorm and manipulated those children, y'all, and did up some stuff. There is a documentary on Hulu, I believe. I just saw clips and like a Dateline special. I used to have Hulu, but I don't have Hulu no more because I'm not paying almost $15 for that. No, ma'am. But just seeing the clips and the interviews of like one of his main girls, that was a lot. So when I learned that that was inspired by this book, I said, oh, let me see what it's going to be about. And y'all, this was so good. So good. You have a young black girl. She is going to a historical black college. It's a fictional university called Fraser, and she meets these roommates. One of the roommates says, my brother, can he stay with us? He's having hard times. And this brother just got out of prison. And you see how it goes. Y'all, this was a wild ride. Another thing I love about her books and her works is the twist. You're not going to figure out that twist. It's not predictable at all. And when I read this, I was like, oh my gosh, I would highly recommend this book, you guys. I mean, I like it so much that I had to get a physical copy of this book. Another book that I read by Tiffany D. Jackson, which, oh my gosh, allegedly, this was her debut. It did not read like a debut. You would not figure this out. And I remember seeing some reviews on YouTube and some reviews on TikTok, and they were like, y'all the ending is gonna get you together. Oh, that was so good. You have a young girl, Mary. Mary has been accused of murdering a black baby. I think that baby, 2 or 3 months old. And she gets convicted and is in jail, but then she gets released into a group home. And yeah, the stuff that goes on in that group home and all that. And that's another thing, again, like I was telling you guys earlier, how, you know, how Tiffany D. Jackson, she takes real life cases. She said, it was an interview, it was a TikTok that she did. She was saying that everything that happens in this book, like the things that happen in that group home, that actually happen in real life to a young woman. And if y'all read this, oh my gosh. Okay, next book I read was on my Kindle. It was also by Tiffany D. Jackson, and it was Grown. Y'all, this book. You saw the power dynamic of how a, grown man can manipulate and use and discard and really control a teenager, a child, a 17-year-old. And this girl, only thing she wanted to do was just sing, you know what I mean? And she ends up getting in cahoots with this famous singer that is a predator. And it's not a spoiler. He ends up getting, murdered, but you find out how he got murdered and who murdered him and all that. This is also a wild ride. This is a book where if you're not into, which I don't know why a person would be into, a relationship with a child, in particular a 17-year-old, 16, 17-year-old, and a grown man that's almost 30 years old, with 28, 29. If you can't take stuff like that, this would not be the book to read, because the stuff that he did and made that girl do and all that. And also this, the blind eyes that people saw, but they didn't say anything. So yeah. And then the last book I read from Tiffany D. Jackson, I read it on my Kobo. was her first middle grade book, Blood in the Water. And this one, so good. Now, this is a middle grade book. If I had a kid that was a middle grade in middle school, baby, you could read this book, okay? You have a young girl, her father has been incarcerated. She believes that he didn't do the crime. They are from Brooklyn, and she spends the summer at his one of his employees' house, Oaks Bluff. And you guys know Oaks Bluff, that's like high class, black elite. And of course, she doesn't want to go. She's like, I want to, she talks to her dad every day. She's real close to her dad. But she goes there, and a young boy dies. And we're trying to figure out how he died and who did it and all of that. Such a great story. The fact that it's middle grade, it kept my attention. It was not boring. And also the who done it, you would figure out who done it. And just a great author, a great storyteller. If you guys are looking for a good thriller, I would say Tiffany D. Jackson right now, she is going to be my go-to. Then the last book that I read, I also read it on my Kobo, and it is Boomtown. This was our book club pick for Lex Reads Book Club for the month of November, and it was a thriller. I was on a thriller kick, y'all, for the past 2 months. Especially this month in November was on a thriller kick, even when it came to the movies. But Boomtown, this is by Nick Stone. You guys know Nick Stone. She is a YA and middle grade author, and this is her first debut novel for adults. And it was good. I would give it a good 3 stars. It was a good, solid book. The twist was really good. The pace was excellent. We had a really good discussion. And although this is a book about strippers, exotic dancing, 2 girls, they end up missing, and you have one exotic dancer. He is trying to find out, and figure out what happened to these girls. When you read the synopsis, you're like, exotic dancers going missing. It's more than that. These characters have so much depth. The book, like I said, was well paced, well written. She made these characters human. She also made, when it comes to exotic dancing and strippers and just the whole storyline, it's not vulgar. She was able to capture this in such a great way, and it's more than just exotic dancers and strip clubs. You know what I mean? And the way that they promoted this book, they said it's a mix between P Valley and Gone Girl. Now, I've never watched the show P Valley. I probably, if I had stars or whatever, I probably would, because that'd be something I gravitate towards. Because growing up, if you are a kid of the 90s, if you are a millennial, Players Club. And I grew up watching the movie, had no business watching it, okay? But it kind of gave me that aspect a little bit, but still different. And then I have seen the movie Gone Girl and really enjoyed it. I would recommend this book. I would. Like I said, I gave it a good 3 stars. Okay, so that is it when it comes to the books. Now let's go to the movies. So y'all know I was on my thriller kick when it came to books this month. I was also on a thriller kick when it came to movies. Now, the last book I just talked about, Boomtown by Nick Stone. Like I told you guys earlier, it said that it was a mix between P Valley and Gone Girl. And I had seen Gone Girl before, I want to say like in my early 20s, and I really did like it. This is back when I wasn't into books, and I haven't read the book and probably won't, because I know the whole tea. I end up also watching a good video of a young lady. She was comparing the book to the movie, and she really did like dig and excavate, both of the mediums. But I wanted to watch Gone Girl because, again, they said that, Boomtown was it kind of reminds you of that, and it did a little bit. This is a movie that you're not gonna figure out. Them characters, Amy Dunn, all off as a Bessie Bug, okay? This girl was okay. This just came out a while ago. You guys know, if you know anything about this book and movie, it was a phenomenon, okay? Back in the day. So you have a married couple, on their 5th anniversary, the wife goes missing, and the husband is a prime suspect. And of course, they're pointing to the husband like, did you have something to do with your wife? And they're thinking that if she's missing, she's probably going to be dead. But there is a twist. And again, this is a twist that you are not going to forget. It's psychological. It really is a psychological thriller. And they did a fantastic job with this movie. Ben Affleck played Nick, and a woman named Rosamund Pike. She is a British actress. She played Amy Dunn and she did fantastic. Okay. So, because after I watched this movie, I was so impressed by this actress. I wanted to see if she had any more, movies. And I watched four of her movies in total. So the next movie I watched called I Care for You, and this is on Netflix. She actually won Rosamund Pike. She won a Golden Globe for this back in 2021. You have a young woman. She is a case manager slash social worker, mainly case manager. She basically becomes the guardian of all these like elderly people. But what she does, y'all, she becomes the guardian of all these elderly people, but she um, auctions their belongings. She puts her house up for sale and foreclosure. She drains their bank accounts and all that. But she does this to this one older lady and doesn't realize that this lady got a pass. And you see the twists and turns of it, and it is so, so, so good. Y'all, that ending, I was not expecting that ending. You guys have to watch this. Again, I didn't know anything about this movie. It came out, like I said, in 2021. And I really enjoyed this, y'all. Next movie I watch is Saltburn. I went to Prime Video for this. This is also starring Rosamund Pike. Now, this is a movie. I'm gonna be honest with you. Don't eat when you watch this movie. It This movie is odd. A lot of stuff that goes on. It's just like it's almost kind of like a satire. Um, but it's disturbing. I think they classify this as like a dark. They said a dark comedy. I wouldn't even put it as a comedy. It's like a dark thriller. And it's a little bit psychological, a lot of it psychological. You have a young man. He is, it's his first year at Oxford University. He um, is kind of to himself. He doesn't make friends really easily, a little shy, reserved, and he becomes friends with a young man that's real popular. His parents have money, and he invites him to stay at his house for the summer. And the family is real eccentric. Like I said, they have money, and a lot of stuff happened over the summer. Oh yeah, this is another one where the twists and turns are, oh my gosh. And when you figure out, now why did that young man do that? Yeah, it will have you talking to the TV. I know I did. Again, very dark, very twisted. Um, just get ready for the wild ride, but it was really, really good. And then the last movie I watched by her is called Radioactive, and it was her playing, is it Marie Carey? Marie Carey, I believe. Kari. She's the one that she's what, the first woman to win the Nobel Peace Prize twice. Her and her husband, Curie, yeah, Madame Curie. Her and her husband, they when it comes to like cancer or like the radio, like the radiation or whatever, I think they like kind of created that or something. And then also during like World War II or something, um the use of x-rays, they also had something to do with that. It was a really good story. You learn about her life, you learn about her husband, and everything they went through when it came to science. And they won a Nobel Peace Prize together, and then she won another one. It was really, really good. I enjoyed it. And again, Rosamund Pike, she did a fantastic job. She really is a great actress. All these movies that I watched, the what, four that I watched of hers, they were all different. All her characters were different. It's not like the same character in a different setting. No. She's an actress that she can actually act. She's just not memorizing her lines. So yeah, I was on a Rosamund Pike kick this month and really enjoyed her movies. Okay, and then the last movie I watched is a movie that premiered on Prime this year. It's called After the Hunt, and y'all know the young, pretty black girl. She won, I think, a Golden Globe for The Bear. She was also the main character in this movie. Y'all, this is so good. It's another like psychological thriller slash drama. You have a professor, and the young black girl, she is uh, a student slash what do you call it? Um, like a student aide too. or student assistant or professor assistant or something like that. Y'all know how y'all be in a you guys know how you be in like in a lecture hall and you will have like the professor and the professor's assistant. They're usually like taking notes or passing out, papers and stuff. She was also that. And she accuses a professor of like sexual misconduct. And she goes to Julie's character and, basically tells her what happens. And you see how the situation goes. Y'all, the twists and turns of this was really, really good. Again, it's another situation where you would never guess. You know what I mean? It was such a great movie. It's one I would recommend. If you guys do have Prime, you want to just sit down and watch a movie that's going to keep you on your toes, but it's still entertaining, this would be a movie that I would recommend. Okay, so that is it for the movies. Now for music. I didn't let's see. I didn't really listen to any like full length albums this month. Y'all know next month is Christmas time, so I'm gonna do every day for Vlogmas. I'm gonna do the 3 Christmas songs I listen to, so just get ready for that. But yeah, I didn't listen to any I didn't listen to a full length album. Um I still am on my little Luther kick. Y'all know I'll always be on my Luther kick. Just listen to my same routine music. Y'all know, same Luther, Whitney, CC. Yeah, I don't have any like new music. But yeah, guys, that is it when it comes to my monthly wrap up of November. Real quick, I am gonna do Vlogmas like I do each year. And I believe, let me see, my schedule, I'm gonna do my regular days, which is Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, but I'm gonna add Friday and Saturday. So be 2 bonus videos in the month of December. If you guys have any suggestions of videos you want to see, please let me know. Put it down in the description box. Yeah, that's all I have for you guys, and I'll be back with more Black Books. Bye.